Welcome to Tzu Chi This week. I'm Terry Poo. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, global Tzu Chi volunteers share their experiences at Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar. In the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan work around the clock to build prefabricated classrooms for students in Bohol Island. In Taiwan, Xinzhu Tzu Chi volunteers moved the recycling station in Xinzhuangzi community to a new location across Xinfeng Middle School. We kick off today's show in Taiwan as this year's Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar being held in the Banqiao and Shanzhong grounds entered its 5th day. Tzu Chi volunteers from various countries seized the opportunity to share their stories with their counterparts in Taiwan. But first, we join the volunteers at a meeting with Master Zheng Yan to hear how Tzu Chi has changed their lives.
这张相片是我签家照。
Showing his family photo, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Jingwei, who used to keep his family at a distance, had seen that relationship change for the better since he joined Tzu Chi.
Before I became a Tzu Chi volunteer, I had my own chauffeur. Now that I'm a volunteer myself, I become my fellow volunteer's chauffeur instead.
At Shanzhong's Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar, volunteers from abroad share their stories with their fellow volunteers from Taiwan. Master Zheng Yan encourages volunteers to learn from one another and cultivate their own wisdom.
我们彼此之间都成长会力，也很期待大家彼此相长。请上人祝福。
Kneeling before Master Zheng Yan to accept her blessings, these overseas volunteers will continue to spread Tzu Chi's great love on behalf of the Master once back home. Volunteer Wang Wenfeng from Malaysia is only a trainee volunteer back home. However, he has already taken on the responsibilities of a team leader as part of his unwavering commitment to his community.
When we assign tasks to our volunteers, they often worry if they can do a good job. So I tell them, don't worry, I have your back if anything goes wrong.
Tzu Chi volunteers across the globe bring positive messages into their local communities. U.S. Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Huifeng comes to share some tips on how to motivate residents to join Tzu Chi's ranks.
Over the decades, Tzu Chi volunteers from different generations have been committed to Tzu Chi cause. Meeting old friends at this occasion makes me happy.
Thailand Tzu Chi volunteer Wen Yin, despite the language barrier, still leads by example in spreading Master Zheng Yan's Dharma.
To inspire local residents to store recyclables on their own, we have to show them how to do it. We have to personally involve ourselves in recycling or cooking before we can really teach them.
While Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States have been introducing jinsi aphorisms to inmates in prisons and give them a chance to do good deeds.
Inmates make $1 a day and they donate 5 on a monthly basis. They say this act of love helps them to stay connected with the outside world. They feel they are doing something good for society.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers across the globe, the NGO's missions are able to be carried out in various countries, where they motivate countless living bodhisattvas to join Tzu Chi's ranks.
As Master Zheng Yan continues her tour around Taiwan, on June 12th, she arrived at the Tzu Chi Guandu and Shanzhong grounds to meet the country's Coast Guard Director, the National Police Agency's Deputy Director, and the Tacloban City Administrator, who seized the chance to thank the Master in person.
Early morning on June 12, Coast Guard Director Wang Jingwang, National Police Agency Deputy Director He Haiming, and Taipei City Volunteer Police Head Zhang Chunjie arrived at the Tzu Chi Guandu grounds to meet Master Zheng Yan. During the meeting, the Master encourages the officers to keep up their good work.
社会就是要先安抚人心，尤其是人民的保姆呢，心要定哈， 社会有什么事情，那才能真正的稳定啊。
Next, Master Zhenyan arrives at the Tzu Chi Sanchong grounds, where she meets Tacloban City Administrator Texan John Lim, who is also a Tzu Chi alumnus. Lim sees the opportunity to express his thanks to the Master and the Tzu Chi volunteers for their support following Typhoon Haiyan.
About all the help that Master Zhenyan has done for Tacloban and all of those who were victim to Yolanda, it's really very hard. It's very, very touching.
As the 2014 Global Tzu Chi Team Leader Training Seminar is coming to an end, Master Zhenyan reminds everyone to remain steadfast on the Bodhisattva path.
一入心，跟得上很自然了，我们都会共同到同一个目的地。我是修行者，我应该呢还要当一个开导者，也同时呢带入者。
Leading everyone on the Bodhisattva path, in the years to come, Master Zhenyan will continue inspiring more people to join the Tzu Chi family.
In the Philippines' Bohol Island, Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan continue to build prefab classrooms across the island. Although the Philippines recently celebrated Independence Day, instead of taking a day off, many local residents volunteer their time to speed up the construction process.
June 12th is the Independence Day in the Philippines. While most of the country was celebrating the occasion, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers continued to assemble prefabricated classrooms across Bohol Island.
The Tzu Chi Foundation is not choosing religious sector. No? They are helping regardless of what religion is it. No? So we are thankful.
To make sure they finish the 150 prefabricated classrooms as soon as possible, the Tzu Chi volunteers split into 2 teams to better pass on their skills to local volunteers.
When I came here, I feel happiness and warmth. Local residents are doing what they can to help, even without getting paid. All of them are dedicating themselves wholeheartedly to this good cause.
Among the construction volunteers are Chen Youji and Qiu Xiangshan, who are participating in Tzu Chi's international relief mission for the first time. Qiu was inspired to join the Buddhist NGO following the 9/21 earthquake in Taiwan. Knowing the fear and heartache residents are going through, Qiu decided to quit his job to join the mission.
I quit my job to become a full-time volunteer.
After days of discussion, the volunteers from Taiwan decided to build a sample of a prefab classroom at each school, so local residents can adjust future classrooms according to their needs.
In Jordan, we meet 16-year-old Raid, whose left leg had been wounded by a gunshot and need to undergo surgery. Luckily, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Qiuhua's former student, Dr. Gath, learned of the news and decided to help the youngster treat his leg free of charge.
In February of this year, members of Taiwan's Tima traveled to Jordan to offer their medical services on behalf of Syrian refugees. There they met Raid, who had suffered a gunshot to his leg. The doctor's diagnosis was that Raid's leg suffered from bone fractures and an infection of the leg bones. Originally, Tima doctors planned to send Raid to Taiwan for better treatment. Fortunately, Dr. Gath of King Hussein Medical Center decided to help the youngster undergo surgery in Jordan.
Good.
In fact, Dr. Gath was a former care recipient of Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Qiuhua. 22 years ago, Chen helped Dr. Gath apply for a scholarship to continue his studies in medicine.
No, he's very happy because he was suffering for 1 year and 5 months. He was in trouble for 1 year, 5 months. Survivor, yeah. But alhamdulillah. 今天医生来检查说状况很好。
Thanks to Dr. Gath and Tzu Chi, Rai is all smiles now.
So look, he never smiling. Now look, now right smiling.
Good.
Good. Buddha teaching us if you can help the others to make them happy, and very important, we save his leg. We save his leg. So the people, Jordanians say, why you pay so much money to helping him? You don't know him. I said, no, I saved his leg.
This 4-year-old girl is also a Tzu Chi care recipient and has suffered from hearing impairment since young. Thanks to Tzu Chi, however, she is now able to hear once again with the assistance of a hearing aid.
She said, I feel now so relaxed. I know somebody is beside me always, especially for my daughter, how we took care of her.
With Tzu Chi volunteers by their side, these refugees will certainly make it through these difficult times.
The African nation of Swaziland held its first ever Tzu Chi Buddha Day ceremony thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers from South Africa's Durban who traveled some 600 kilometers to lend their assistance. The Durban volunteers also brought along rice from Taiwan, which helped over 1,200 families in 12 villages.
At 4 in the morning, Tzu Chi volunteers from South Africa's Durban are all dressed for this special day. The tent lent to them free of charge just happens to be Tzu Chi's colors of blue and white. Although the setup is very basic, more than 250 people have gathered here to pay homage to the Buddha. Due to limited resources, the ceremony is kept very simple. However, it is the thought that counts. To make all this possible, the Durban volunteers had to travel 600 kilometers north to Swaziland. 3 days earlier, Durban volunteers had worn themselves out unloading rice from Taiwan. As customs officials demanded a thorough inspection, all the rice had to be unloaded. After 2 days of unloading and loading, volunteers could barely stand. Then a team of 11 volunteers immediately headed for Swaziland. They stayed in an old warehouse supplied by a Taiwanese merchant, but only slept a few hours before starting to rehearse for their Buddha Day ceremony. However, their mission was not over at the completion of the ceremony. In a day's time, the volunteers had to complete winter aid distributions in 8 villages to help a total of 806 households. To expedite their work, volunteers asked residents to form a humane chain to help pass down the rice. The next day, the volunteers had 4 more villages to visit, where 406 families eagerly awaited.
In Indonesia, to help impoverished families in Bandung, Tzu Chi volunteers partnered with a local temple to hold a free clinic, providing free medical services to 293 needy residents.
The Tzu Chi Bandung Liaison Office is working with a local temple to hold a free clinic for local residents. Several seniors arrived early to sign up for the medical service.
Most seniors in our community refuse to see the doctors even when they are ill because they want to save money. Tzu Chi's free clinic helps them a lot since they can now receive an early diagnosis and treatment.
While waiting, Tzu Chi volunteers seized the opportunity to introduce Tzu Chi's messages to the patients, hoping to recruit more like-minded people.
I want to introduce Tzu Chi's ideals to the residents in Bandung so that they can come to a better understanding of this organization. There are many residents here today. Perhaps we can take this chance to recruit some to join our ranks.
This free clinic offers internal medicine and dental service. Volunteering their professional medical skills for the first time, some doctors have come to understand how they can truly make a difference in society through this meaningful event.
After taking part in this free clinic, I realized there are countless people in society who cannot afford to see the doctor. Not only can my skills help those in hospitals, but the poor here also well. So I think this is very meaningful.
My feet hurt all the time. Doctors said it's because of high uric acid in my blood. I have spent lots of money to treat it before, but it never got better. Just now, team of doctors told me that what I have is a bone inflammation. I hope I will get better this time.
Overall, 293 patients received Tzu Chi's medical service at this event. At the same time, TIMA members' act of love and compassion will continue to spread throughout each and every community in Bandung.
In Taiwan, Xinzhu, the Tzu Chi recycling station in Xinzhuangzi community was forced to move as the government plans to widen the road alongside the venue. Fortunately, the volunteers soon found an empty lot across Xinfeng Middle School and started to clean up the new premise.
Cleaning up the rubbish both inside and out, volunteers are here today for a very important task, preparing this formerly unused piece of land to be Xinzhuangzi's community's newest Tzu Chi recycling station.
Last year, I got a call from the township office telling me that the road that ran outside our recycling station was set to be widened to 12 meters. After that, we had to move quickly to try to find a new location for our recycling station.
Volunteers quickly spread out in search of a new location. Fortunately, they soon discovered an unused lot across the Xinfeng Middle School. At close to 500 square meters, not only is the lot sufficiently large, but the owner was willing to let the volunteers use it free of charge for the next 5 years.
This is a good location. Although it needs work, I'm sure that with everyone's combined efforts, over time this land will become a recycling and educational station that meets our highest standards here in Xinzhu.
We have had great communication between teams, and that is thanks to the relationship we have formed in the past. Because of our brothers and sisters in Taoyuan, we have a chance to come together to practice, as well as set up this recycling and educational station. I hope everyone cherishes this opportunity and works together to realize it.
Although volunteers are busy with setting up their new recycling home, they do not forget to handle the recycling that is still ongoing at the old recycling station. And although sad to leave, they look forward to what the future may bring.
I recruited 20 or more members here, and each became one of our fellow bodhisattvas. I hope that at our new location, we can continue to cultivate new connections within our community.
Together, regardless of their location, these recycling volunteers are making a difference in their community every day.
In the United States, in order to raise funds for the Phase 2 construction of Tzu Chi's Jinsi Hall in Houston, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers started selling sticky rice dumplings 2 weeks before the Dragon Boat Festival. The volunteers hope to not only celebrate Dragon Boat Festival in a healthy manner, but also spread vegetarianism to more people.
Prior to the Dragon Boat Festival, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers of the Texas chapter are busy making mixed grain vegetarian sticky rice dumplings, or zongzi, for their fundraiser.
From purchasing ingredients to the final product, each step of the way is filled with love. This is reflective of the Jinsi aphorism, which points out that with collective strength, anything is possible.
Head chef Yang Hui-qing not only works to make sure that each zongzi is delicious, but that there are enough hands to make 10,000 zongzi in the 3 weeks before the festival. In the end, pressure became her greatest motivator.
Pressure has given me a lot of strength because it has provided me with the motivation to recruit more bodhisattvas. This activity has really helped unite the local volunteers here. It feels wonderful to be a part of it.
Actually, the Tzu Chi Texas chapter holds its own charity sale each year, but this year, volunteers were raising funds for the second phase of construction of the Jinsi Hall. Thus, orders were doubled. However, the increase in sales did not decrease the quality of the zongzi, as each step was carried out with precision.
We only do this once a year, so it's great to spend time with each other and see so many people.
Everyone is very thoughtful and inspired. This is a rare and valuable opportunity.
This year's mixed grain glutinous rice dumplings are not only healthy to eat, but also provide a touch of Tzu Chi's love and care with every bite.
In Austin, Texas, the Tzu Chi Academy held an year-end ceremony to commemorate the students' hard work. Meanwhile, San Jose Tzu Chi Academy in California also held a graduation ceremony. But first, we joined the Cupertino Tzu Chi Academy at their year-end celebration.
A teacher pins a corsage to the students' shirt to signify their graduation.
From preschool to 12th grade, I've attended the Tzu Chi Academy for 14 years.
At Cupertino Tzu Chi Academy in Northern California, there are 5 graduates this year. These students have attended the school since they were 4. Now 18 years old, they have spent over 400 Saturday mornings bathing in Tzu Chi's humanity.
We have thanked those in our lives who have helped us along the way, but there's a group we have yet to thank, and that's the Tzu Chi aunts and uncles at the school.
The Tzu Chi Academy not only teaches children Chinese, but also educates them on character. Through a demonstration of Tai Chi, it is evident that Tzu Chi's values are incorporated into the school's curriculum. As the graduates fly into a new horizon, the school remains behind to help more students build a solid foundation. Meanwhile, the San Jose Chishao class put on a comedy inspired by their weekend volunteer session.
Young person, hurry! You're so great.
This year, over 140 students are here to send off 33 graduates. The newly found youth orchestra hopes their music can spread the message of love. Later, the Harvard-bound Li Wei says a few words on behalf of the graduating class.
Sometimes we focus too much on the future to remember what's going on in the present. Without giving love to others, it's hard to realize how to love yourself. And if you don't realize the importance of the people around you, then you can't really appreciate the good things in love.
To be grateful and to give are the life lessons taken away by these hopeful youths. Also holding an year-end celebration is the Tzu Chi Academy in Austin, Texas. Each performance is the accumulation of the past year's efforts. Absorbing Tzu Chi's spirit through the example set by their teachers, students of the Tzu Chi Academy are growing up right.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of our show. The second round of the 2014 Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar kicked off on June 13th in the Taichung Jinsi Hall, which saw nearly 500 volunteers from 12 different countries take part. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Tzu Chi This Week. Goodbye.